Get your pipe. You see that? Yeah, right. Mark around your pipe, outer edge, with a pen and a clean bit of paper. Mark your outside edge. Take a different coloured pen and just kind of mark it around like that to give yourself an indicator of where you're going to be applying it. What you'll have at this point is your unit like this, your outside pipe, and you'll have pipes coming down the outside and going in the middle, and you'll have your pipes coming up like this. I suggest at this point you fit your feet. Remember, mark your front with your small pipe coming to the front so you don't hit at the back. Okay. Get my corners on because I'm going to need them. Marking my 2 holes. Okay, doke. Right, let's see now. I'm going to go from corner to corner, and this is probably a way you would do one of the larger units as well. It's just a way to get it more central. So there's a middle for diddle line with a centre mark in it. Okay, right, so at this point what we're going to do is we know that our larger tube has an 84mm inside bore. Okay, so 84mm divided by 2 gives us 42mm. We get 42mm and we mark it for the centre on each one. Okay, so we've marked to 42mm. Remember, this is just guidelines. It's not exactly rocket science, guys. You don't need to be exact. It's just to give you a more or less equidistant when it's put down. So there's how we mark that. Now when we put our unit back on, we pretty much know where we are to get it central for the inside. So we put it on. I mean, this is handy with much bigger tubes, you know, the 200 diameter and the 120 diameter. It's just much more difficult to try and get them right. And this gives you a visual of where you want to be applying your stuff. So there we go. It's meant to draw in with capillary action, and I'm going to say at this point, if you're using this, you really want to hope that you've genuinely got your tube flat, and it should draw in. And it gives you a much finer finish, that's a fact. Much handsomer finish, but I prefer utilitarian to hand. We're only doing the outside at the moment. We're not going to do the inside, because if we've got any holidays at all on the inside, they'll be okay. We can fill them in when this is dried. You get certain stuff from France that can help your capillary action, that will draw in without a doubt. However, the stuff costs £100 for a 200ml spray can. So it's evidently something you're not going to be buying unless you're a rich fella. It's something that I can't afford. Okay, it didn't actually come out that bad. There's a couple of wee bits just on this, can you see there? And on that outer edge. That one we won't be able to do anything with because it's already got an outer seal skin. We might be able to shove the needle in. But that's actually came out not too bad, so I'll leave the orange part on so you can see what I'm doing. To repair the inside or any holidays, go down into the corner, push it in, get a small amount of the liquid in there, and then take it in both hands and just rotate it round so you're sitting at an angle like this. You've got the small amount of liquid in the bottom and just keep rotating it, and that way you'll find that the liquid will run round, and just do it nice and slow, and you're sitting at an angle like that, so you're keeping it into the corner and you're just rotating it round, and you'll find that it'll fill any of the little holidays that you've left on the inside. Cut a piece of paper and just make sure go all around it, and that should tell you if you're fairly flat, if you can't get it in. Okay, this is one of your feet and you can see how it's kind of rough there, and I said to you the other day to just get a sand off, keep it nice and square, take any of the rough bits off. You'll end up with something like that, so it's still got wee bits in it. But whatever you do, do not polish this. Don't polish any of the surfaces you're going to weld, just sand them. Set them up to where you're going to weld, and we can see there that we've got, it looks quite rough, but don't worry too much about that, because once you've actually done your unit, you can see that I've got one here. It doesn't come out too bad at all. They come out fairly clear, and you probably paint these or whatever. I've got wee rubber feet on it, and these wee rubber feet just come from when I'm hole punching. I just keep the wee rubbers, and they're dead easy to fix on, and I'll show you in a wee minute how to fix these on. And you just keep these wee rubber feet because they're handy to stop them scratching the table and things. Bonding these wee rubber feet to your base, super glue. Just super glue them on like that, and super glue will hold them to your base, no problem. You'll get various different types of tensile and weld on. You'll get the resin type with a part A and a part B for a hardener. You'll get very viscous type, which is basically runnier than water, and you have to use a syringe or a special applicator, a pipette. In the past I've used these wee lactose feeding bottles for pups. Again, you'll get them for a few bucks. This is Tensile 70, and this is the way it'll come from the supplier of your acrylic, and this is probably the best one. You ask the guy that supplies you the acrylic, tell him what you're going to do. You're going to be welding the two dissimilar together, the sheet and the tube, and he'll supply you with the right tensile or weld on to do the job. Now, this is an old piece of acrylic for one of my units, so basically you're going around it like so, and because it's so large here, I tend to put a dot in the middle like that, then put it on and go around the edges so it kind of draws in. This is only because it's quite a big block. If it's your pipe you're welding on, you put your pipe into position and then it'll draw in through the capillary action. Okay, so that should pretty much weld on there. And again, just put a bit of weight on it maybe to force it down. It's a bit early to turn it over right enough, but you can see there that it's nice and clear. Can you see what's happening? That's capillary action, it's actually drawn itself in. Oops. I've got a big air bubble right in the centre there, I don't want that. Let's try and push down. You get the general gist though. Try and get rid of that air bubble. Oh. There we go. And you can see it's much, that's a big block, so it's obviously more difficult to do than a thin 4mm wall on your tubes. Okay, so we've used the hypodermic and we've bonded using that, and you can see the capillary action going on. And if you actually look at it, you can see that it's just a very fine liquid. So you need fairly flush fitting faces, you know, they've got to be kind of flush. So if you didn't have flush fitting faces and you're not too sure, get yourself a piece of paper, simple, and just go along and see where they fit in. And if they fit in like that, you're not going to get a very good finish using the capillary action type. We can see here that we'd either need to saw it down, get a straight edge, or sand it down. But the other way past that, for not quite so smooth finishes, faces, is to use the epoxy resin. This is a part A and a part B. We can see here that it goes solid and it welds the two faces together. You would mark your lines out like we've seen earlier and just apply it along the length, putting a fairly thick layer on. Achieve that, so let me get this right. Then lay your unit in on one side, bringing it down across and over, and you can see the bond happening there. You can virtually see it. I don't know if that's coming out too well or not. You can see where we're bonded right along. You can see it there. And just push it down. So if you have got any wee holidays or wee rough bits in there where the papers went through, it should bond up okay. Okay, it's about an hour later and I've used this old sheet and we can see that it's bonded on just fine. And it's actually taking up the slack in there with that slightly uneven sheet. Big 200 unit in the corner, that's 200mm pipe. This is a 120 pipe. They're great for testing your plates and things like that, and just good test bench units. And you can virtually build any of these, you know, just with these couple of straightforward techniques. you can do them cheaply and as many as you like, really, you know, for all sorts of things. So anyway, I don't put these bolts in them anymore. They're just welded straight on. I did pin them, but I didn't even do that anymore. They just weld straight on. You can see there with the feet.